Okay, so my camera only allows me to record for so many minutes, apparently. I don't know how you guys figured that out, but you guys did. You're able to sabotage my recording. Okay, so what I was asking my daughter is how did she figure it out? And if you recall, what she said, I don't know how much you guys heard, was that she saw this one here and she didn't like it, so she took that one away. And then she couldn't really articulate what else she did, except that she knew that these had to be the same as this side over here. So I'm guessing if what she was trying to say was that this side is going to have the same number of beans as this side. And if this one has 4 and this one only has 2 cups, but it has this, well, then that has to be what's underneath the cup. And sure enough, it is what's underneath the cup. So many, if not all of you, have probably figured out what it is we're doing here. And I'm going to show you on paper, because I have been keeping track, as you've noticed. And I'll show you the beginning of the paper that I did, the writing, and then where I ended. So here's where I started, right? So you see I did 1 cup equaled 3 beans, 1 cup equaled 4 beans. And if you remember, at the very beginning, she was not betting very much at all, very little. Even though these are actually quite a bit simpler. Here was 2 cups and there were 8 beans on the right-hand side. So she said there was, in 1 cup, there were 4 beans, which was correct. Here I had 3 cups with 9 beans and then 1 cup with 3 beans. And here's where she started to complain about my handwriting. As you notice, my handwriting is getting really, really good, right? And that's actually on purpose. So what I do when I teach this to my students is that I start writing more and more sloppily, so they start to understand that if they see a C, that stands for cup. If they see a B, that stands for beans. So that B there means beans. And this B here means beans, and that means cups. And then I quit writing the words all together, and I just have 1C plus 3B equals 8B. And then I have 1C plus 5B equals 7B. And 1C plus 4B equals 7B. So now I've taken out completely the word cups and beans and just represented it by the letter there. And then over here, I actually quit completely. And I just have 3C plus 4 is equal to 10. So now I've created an equation. And I didn't even tell him I was writing an equation. She didn't even notice that I was writing an equation. She would look at that and knew that this was the beans, even though I didn't put a B there. Here's 2C plus 1 is equal to 1 cup plus 4 beans. 2 cups plus 2 beans is equal to 1 cup plus 4 beans. So what we ended up doing, if you look at this, we went from one-step equations over here to multi-step equations over here. So this multi-step equation of 2 cups plus 1 bean is equal to 1 cup plus 5 beans, and she was able to get that right and said there was 1 cup that had 4 beans in it. And so this is how I introduce solving equations. We start with cups and beans, and then I slowly write the equations. And then the next thing we'll talk about is what you do first. And every single time what she would do first is she would get rid of what she didn't like, which was the bean that was outside of her cups. So if she had it set up like this with 1 cup there and 3 beans, and she's trying to figure out what's in a cup, she looked at this and she subtracted it from there. She took that away. And so when she takes that away, what she's left with is 1 cup has to be equal to 2 beans. And that's exactly what we teach them in solving equations. So if I were going to do this in equation form, this problem, I would say 1 cup plus 1 bean equals, and it was 3 beans, 3 beans. And then what they do first is they take away a bean from each side. And what they're left with is 1 cup is equal to 2 beans, just like that. All right, and then I'll do one more and that'll be it. And let me pause it while I Okay, so then, say for this one, what we would have had is 2 cups plus 3 beans is equal to 9 beans, right? And then the very first thing that she would do, I don't know if you could hear, is she would take away these beans. She didn't like having those beans there.